Okay.
Is that a yes?
No. And enjoy the show. Are you still going to get on the date?
Are you?
No. No, really, because I have all the experience in the world. I'm sure you need to add your own.
Is that cider taking it away now?
Maybe. Maybe a bit. So the very good marketing. Oh no, I don't. One, I don't really think it's great. It's that's that perfect cartoon.
Very like you can tell whatever it's going While I said it, I said, you know, this walking right now. But in the focus of it, is that meant to bring on plastic? I mean, every time. Yeah.
All right. You see here, attention all carbon-based life forms on the balcony. I'm with the census committee. I'm going to need a favor from you people taking a small census. You can do me a favor and clap if you're next to somebody beautiful. All right. Some of you didn't clap. It's going to be a long car ride home. That's all on you. You deal with that. You have fun with that. You have fun with that.
It's a microphone right there.
There is a microphone. Hold on, let me see.
Boom.
Hey.
Boom. What? Hashtag technology. I love it. I love it. All right, folks, if you don't know where you are, you're exactly where you needed to be. You are here at the Austin Poetry Slam, held at its new home, the Alamo Draft House on Mueller. Make some noise. We're just up here on the balcony tonight to just basically show off and let everybody know we're new in town and everything. Let them know to stop through. We're going to be here every Tuesday. The doors open at 7, but as of after tonight, as of next week, next Wednesday, we're going to be downstairs in the Barrel of Fun restaurant. So that's still happening. But in either case, let everybody downstairs know you say hello. Everybody say, hey! Say, you're awesome! Yes, you! Yes! You with the green bag. That's an amazing green bag. And you're a great person. Don't stop believing. All right. So I have the open mic list here. If you have something to say with your whole chest, let me know, and I will put you down in a good way. We're going to start the very show. We're going to start the very show soonly. What? This is what happens when you drink. This is what happens when you drink the cider too fast. It's what's gonna happen. You're gonna have a fun time. You're gonna.
What kind of cider is it?
It's exciting. It's a pineapple cider. I was trying to not make a pun, but it almost happened. It almost happened. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this microphone down, and I'm gonna move around with the list. Like I said, if you want to get on, like I said, I will put you down in a good way. And speaking of down in a good way, give it up for Akeem. He is not only a dope poet, but he also has jewelry and books for sale. And what's great about that is that each of you have money in your pocket, and it's been getting on your nerves all damn day. If you're like, I hate this currency in my life, what do I do with it? I got the cure. Akeem will give you a thing, and it will make you feel better than the money did. I don't need these dollars. I have earrings. You see how that works? Yep. It's physics. All right, so the open mic list is going around, and we have a mic stand. Give it up a mic stand! I love the Alamo Draft House! All right, we'll be back in a little bit.
I'm like, I'm good, whatever.
No, Danny, I was just YouTubing. I just
Danny!
oh, it's okay. I want to buy like a yeah, I've got the DVD.
Hey, wow.
Get your open mic here. Get the poetry here. Get your free expression here. Get the poetry here. You.
Yeah.
Okay? Give it a quick start.
I have a new thing that looks like this, but it didn't print right. So it was supposed to be, you know how when you print a book, it's supposed to like fold over? But like instead, it like printed the pages, but they're all like this. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, the whole way through. Yeah. So that's weird.
Yeah.
We'll see. It was just whatever. Sam, are you ready?
Don't do that, Danny.
Okay, no. I shouldn't have done that. I would love to hear your work whenever you're What's the latest?
Yeah. She's done. I'm like, that's her. Oh, yeah.
It is. Well, nothing inspires me to write.
It's an open mic. Yeah. We all stay between open mics.
You too. Do we have to go down and order at the bar?
They'll give you a number though and bring it up.
Awesome.
Anybody else for the open mic here? Get your poetry here. Oh. Sorry.
Not that, but I'm gonna have Well, I already know because I never grew up around it. You know about the military. So like I never people are like, oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
I never had
This is pretty great.
That's funny because my dad actually has a
Yeah, I'm the only one. My mom is. Yeah, and the rest like have yeah. But we have like 7 left. Okay. Yeah. So I guess it's depends how you
Check. All right, I need a favor, people. I need just one quick favor. I ain't gonna ask you for nothing. I don't ask you for too much. I don't, you know what I'm saying? We've been through a lot together, and I don't want to ruin that with burdening you with my own personal shit. But I just got one quick question. Are you ready? Can I ask you just one question? Just one question. How are you doing, Austin, Texas? Tapping you next to somebody beautiful right now. All right, if you don't know where you are, you're exactly where you needed to be. You are here at the Austin Poetry Slam. We are currently located at the Alamo Draft House on Mueller. Say hello to everybody down in the street. We're just showing up to let y'all know we're here and around, so we look forward to seeing you all next Wednesday down there, especially y'all with the Awesome Family. Say hi, Awesome Family! All right. Much like Wu-Tang, I love the kids. All right, so for those of you who've never been to a poetry open mic, number 1, forgive yourself, start the healing now. Number 2, what we have is, like I said, an open mic where if you got something to say and put it out, get it off your chest, and we will put you down on a good way. And this very cool notebook. Toba always picks the best notebook. She does. I am your host for the evening, Joe B. Everybody, please do me a favor and high five the person next to you, please, right now. I'm trying different things. I'm spitballing. It's not always going to be gold. It's not. So what we're going to go ahead and do is get the open mic started. I'm targeting, looking for the first poet of the evening. Okay, hold on.
How about you, Joe?
No, well, okay. Well, no. I want to start this off like super right, because, and plus, this poet coming up next is one of my favorites. This poet coming up next is so cold.
How cold?
Oh, thank you, Doc. Thank you. God loves us because we try. I said this next poet coming up is so cold.
How cold?
She makes ice cubes jealous. Put your hands together for the one, the only, Teresa Johnson!
Let's go, PJ! Woo! It's actually really appropriate to do at a movie theater. To commemorate the release of Darren Aronofsky's film The Whale, 3 things that are really fun about being fat. Number 1, exercising. There's no richer comedy than the look of horror on a skinny person's face when they see a fat bitch in workout clothes. Seeing that nightmare flash before their eyes is worth the price of sports bras. It's like, what? I thought they wanted me to take care of my body. Isn't this what I'm supposed to be doing? Are they worried this is what people see when they look at them? Are they worried all their healthy lifestyle choices won't save them from looking like this? Or are they trying to preserve the sanctity of the skinny person's domain that they're the only ones allowed to be healthy or to look good doing it? I'm telling you, it's fucking classic. Number 2, sleeping. When you think about Darren Aronofsky dating his stick-thin actresses and faking like he gives a fuck about fat people, your depression is going to spike and send you straight to your bed. When even the healthiest of us need to wallow for a minute, you could lie down on a narrow-ass prison-grade twin mattress, but fat queens and kings sleep on queens and kings. No one knows comfort like fat people. Do you really want your sleep experience designed by someone who doesn't have daily joint pain that needs to be soothed away? We know how to distribute weight, align spines, and make space for those we love to join us. Plus, we're soft and cuddly as fuck. Number 3, other fat people. Living is hard, and sooner or later, you're gonna need someone who understands, someone who knows how to love the parts of yourself you're told to hate. When fat people commiserate about feeling bad about how they look, no one will say, oh, come on, you're not that fat. Because no one will assert that to be skinny is to be beautiful. And as long as you stay below some threshold, you still have some hope. And when a fat person says, you look great today, we do not mean you look skinny. We do not mean we can see the cinch of your waist. When a fat person says you look great today, I mean I see pride in your eyes. Your choices in clothing and hair and makeup reflect confidence and surety. Today, your spirit is overflowing from your skin and you look filled with yourself. You look how I want to feel. I want to take you into every public space and confront the world with your excellence. I want to take you out for burgers and ice cream and eat cheese fries in front of everyone. I pity the space that has no fat people in it. The restaurants with no room between their tables. The dining rooms whose narrow chairs all have armrests. The twin-sized beds. If you have built a home and a life and a heart with no room for fat people, I do not feel bad for the fat people who cannot fit there. I feel bad that you will be so miserable without us.
The name is Teresa Johnson, y'all. Make some noise. All right, so, and like I said before, the open mic list is officially open. If you want to say something, go ahead and let me know. Say it with your whole chest. We'll put you down on this list over here. And speaking of down with us forever, please put your hands together. Well, it's not their time yet. But I want y'all to get ready to put your hands together because our feature is in the building, y'all. Let's make some noise for KB Brookins, y'all. Let me tell you, it's real simple. It's real simple. You know what they got? Let me tell you what they got. You know what they got? Ask me what they got. They got a box. You know what's in the box? Ask me what's in the box. You got books in the box. How much are those books? They're $18 flat. Only $18? That's what I said. Matter of fact, I talked to KB earlier, and they told me not to say this, not to tell y'all no matter what. So I need to just let y'all know right now that they are having a special. If you buy, hold on. Let me wait till they go. If you buy one book for $36 for tonight, they'll give you another one for free. Huh? What? Huh? What? Hashtag down economy, damn it. We're struggling. We're struggling. We're not okay. We're not okay. All right, so are y'all ready for the next part of this year lineup? Are y'all ready for the next part? Put your hands together for the best jewelry maker in Austin, Texas. Make some noise for Akeem Olash!
How y'all doing? I'm trying to clear my throat because I literally was eating the French fry when you called my name. All right. Now I'm going to let the crowd decide what they feel like hearing. Do you want to hear something lovey, something sexy, or something serious? Oh, well.
I think we got a few for sexy.
I guess that's what the people want, and who am I to not give them
What they want.
what they want? So when the couple approaches you for a threesome, do not panic. Maintain your sexy breathe. Remember, you are sexy. It's what brought them to you in the first place. Think about the service you will have been providing. Think of the happy homes and their sex lives across the Gulf Coast you will have resurrected. They will have remembered you as Nazareth. All you remember is how your insecurity zombie apocalypse across their backs, the afterglow of afterlife real has reminded you that this is just your freak calling card. You do have done this 5 times without you even knowing, without knowing that you were or just the decorated freak for the evening you've been. Will be doing this all your adult life, being sexy, being used. Good to spice things up, that must mean that your O will be Louisiana hot sauce. An extra flavor for a meal, but never a full course. So this is an elegy to my whole phase. Here lies the phase of my life where I was the most sublimely fucked in every direction. You can laugh. Though the orgasms felt like the universe exploding and creating life, the aftermath was messy and emotional. I never had this much sex before in the shows. I gained a reputation for good dick, but not a good person, but yet I gleamed with pride. I was freer with this body after a clean bill of health, using the fact that I'm using protection as an excuse to enjoy flesh. I was hurting and thinking random sex partners will fix it, and no one bothered to even know, but I would be the first one to tell you that I am not a hoe. I was just friendly. I never dealt with life in excess, though the fun I had to every part of my pelvis and mouth was available in plenty and wet or hard and delicious all at the same time. Here lies my morals. I couldn't bag a hot girl or guy, slept along most nights because they never made the first move. The life still holds value, but only in Christian abstinence circles. I remember him often, but not often enough to not increase my body count. Fun fact. Body counts restart every time your body replaces every cell down to the bone. So new body equals new body count. So what that happens, so that means that my whole phase is null and void. My answer is, of course, it is. Could I declare myself a born-again virgin, and I am? Would I no longer have to repent for all the times I have defiled this body if this body is only a memory that I no longer have to remember? Thank y'all so much. I have books for sale. This book is called Socially Distant. It's about life during the quarantine over the past few years. I have jewelry for sale. I take cash, Venmo, Cash App. If you just want to talk to me, you can do that too. I'll be at the table. Thank you.
Make some noise one more time for Akeem Olash, y'all. And coming up next to the stage, yet another person with a name cooler than mine. I'm not bitter, except I'm lying. Please put your hands together for Lorelai.
Your cries were like avalanches. It was like watching mountains that were forged into majesty be worn down and crumble beneath your eyes. All I wanted was to watch your grin grow the way I watched you nurture flowers to bloom. Because when you smiled, the creases on the sides of your lips were like rays of sunshine, beaming out of you nothing but pure light. I danced with that smile for a while. No one would know there was a monster living beneath your teeth. It's amazing what you can do when you put your mind to it. You forced rose-colored glasses onto my face until all I could see was roses where there was piles of rot. A graveyard where your love lies. Tombstones that read the lies you told me. May I rest in peace. I am finished. I thought if I sacrificed enough of myself, I would finally be deemed worthy. But here I am, left alone, covered in dirt. You left me in that graveyard, buried me 6 feet deep, and let me rot. The darkness you left behind still grows in me. I tried to turn the rot into flowers, let my decaying body grow something better, but you took the most nurturing parts of me. But when I am done healing, flowers will bloom here, and they will all be more beautiful than the image of you I made in my mind. When I am done healing, real roses will bloom.
All right. Give it up one more time for Lorelai. Whew. I'm just here to get my seat. Hold on for a second. I'm going to pause and I'm going to hug that person right there. Here at Awesome Poetry Slam, we advocate non-creepy, consensual hugs. Not a lot of you know this, but many, Teresa knows. A lot of you don't know this, but many of the poets of the Texas spoken word community belong to a devout sacred order of Shaolin hugging monks. We are trained in the art of giving and conveying love without trying to find our mama all up in there. And again, I did say consensual. All right, coming up next to the stage, let me see, who is calling me right now? Don't you call me while I'm poetrying. All right, coming up next to the stage, please put your hands together for someone that hugs even better than me. I don't know. Put your hands together for Mr. Dave.
Let's go, Dave! One of my favorite poets.
So I'm doing a 30 for 30 for April. So this poem has never hit the mic before. I'm really excited to share it.
Hold on. Are you saying that poem is new?
It is new shit.
New shit!
The prompt that I got on the first day of April was simply, we fixed it. It's not broken. And I had no idea what the fuck to write about. So this came out. In the 60s, we made racism illegal. And now no one is racist anymore. Just like in the 40s, when we defeated the Nazis and now no one's a Nazi or a fascist anymore. I mean, the trains don't run on time, right? But they still deliver their goods to middle America, not like the banks, right? They just go off the rails or are told they're too big to fail, but that's a win, right? Being too big to fail, right? Unless it's our students. We fail them all the time, but instead of fixing the system that's failing everyone, we just give the teachers guns, right? Give them guns. And then, I have very small handwriting. And then blame them because they're turning the kids trans. Oh, wait, no, that was the story time drag queens. But the government has a plan that'll fix everything in just in a few steps. First, you take the books out of the schools. They never should have been there in the first place. Second, you deny healthcare to all women. It doesn't matter what you call it. Abortion is healthcare. Third, you deny care to at-risk kids who are in desperate need. And you make it illegal for them to exist. But at least we can all agree that things are so much better since slavery is illegal, right? Like, I mean, except for the 2 million people who are incarcerated today who that rule doesn't apply to. But I mean, we did it, right? We beat the commies to the moon 50 years ago, and we don't have the ability to do it again because we defunded NASA, but that's okay because no one sets their sights on the stars anymore unless you're talking about Elon Musk. And I mean, Jeff Bezos is riding a rocket with a cowboy hat on like it's the end of Dr. Strangelove, and the ice caps are melting and the sea level is rising, and once-in-a-lifetime events are happening every 5 to 10 years now like clockwork, and the trains are running on time. They're just spilling cancer all over Ohio and Florida and West Virginia and Oklahoma and Alabama and Nebraska and Flint, Michigan. I mean, Flint hasn't had drinking water in a decade. The trains are the least of their worries, but America is number one in crimes involving guns and the size of our military. And that's it. We fixed it. We fixed everything. USA, number one.
I want to hear it again. What? Encore.
Give it up for Mr. Dave, y'all. All right. And one more time for quality assurance. If you don't know where you are, if you don't know what's happening up here, then you need to know that everybody on the balcony is exactly where they need to be. We are at the Austin Poetry Slam, happening every Wednesday at the Austin. I'm sorry. The cider's wearing off. Here at the Alamo Draft House, Mueller. Everybody make some noise. We're just up here saying hi to our new neighbors and everything and letting everybody know that after this Wednesday, from now on, we will be downstairs up in the barrel of fun, making the barrel even more fun, a funner barrel. We will barreler the fun. We will more fun in the barrel. Okay, I have a paper with things on it. Okay, all right, coming up next. Coming up next is a poet that makes it look easy, a poet who puts his heart into connecting with each and every human being he reads to, and that's everything I love about a poet. Please put your hands together for Mr. Danny Strack!
Hi. I'm working on a new book. It's the first one in like 5 years. It's gonna look like this, but it's weird. Okay. Okay. I turned 44 a little bit ago. And my partner is also in her 40s, and we're trying to have a baby. That's what this is about. It's a circus out there, and we've both been through ringers. We are so young. We pulled up our tights, got on our phones, went through the motions. We are so young, sent out signals like proper optimists. We are so young, as though anyone could ever connect like that. We're so young. Meet up for the first date. We are so young. We share whiskey and secrets like we can't keep our mouths closed. We are so young, surprised by each other. We are so young, more surprised on our second date when we make out like bandits. We are so young with careers and leadership roles. We are so young. Sometimes we can't find the words. We're so young. Bring something new into the world. We're so young. So much whiskey. We're so young. Endless clouds of smoke. We're so young, clinging to each other. We're so young, wanting to make a good impression on each other's family. We're so young, forgetting that everyone really wants us to make this work. We're so young. When does our best behavior end anyways? We're so young. Will it happen for us? We're so young. Maybe we waited too long. So young. Either of us could be sick. So young. Are we making a mistake? So young. Are we too old? So young. Are we naive? So young. Everyone else young. And we young will
give it up for the one they call Danny Strack, y'all. All right, all right. Coming up is a voice I haven't heard in a long time, and it is always worth the wait. Put your hands together for Dumpster Fire Phoenix! Make way, come up to the stage!
Hello.
Hey!
Hi. I'm Dumpster Fire Phoenix, but you can just call me Dumpster Fire. It's fine. I am a working poet, and I can read one of two poems tonight. I can read one about a transcestor, and I can read a different one about living on an anarchist co-op.
Transcestor!
Okay. I heard more screams for transcestor. Yeah. This is called Why We Disappear. Never again will I grace my presence before you. Not one of you believes in the good intent of what I profess when I confess here publicly my truth. Your ears are instead programmed to translate my villainy. Your eyes trained to interpret the kaleidoscopic fact of my existence as an assault. I understand your need for a sacrifice, for a scapegoat, for an example of sadomasochism to display here before the children. And so, submissively, I seem to bend before your execution of justice, but then disappear just as suddenly as I emerged. You are suspicious of my or any gay trans soul seeking communion in what you claim here as yours, what you call this here your cathedral. Where might I hear the echo of my small prayer from the vaults of a painted heaven? Or where might I eat my plants in silence? Or where might I simply sleep clean? Or where might I, your one high God forbid, wash the traumatized feet of a crusader, same as the devoted woman did in the gospel for your Christ? Where might we wash with pure water? Where might we rehydrate? Where might we relieve ourselves? But if this is how you feel, how you believe, how you vote, how you inviolably nurture your white nuclear offspring by the nurse of your maid bondservant, your secret dark stepdaughter Jefferson, the supremacy of your written word legislated the circumstances of your violent marriage. You manipulate your law, mama, to heterosexually genocide a whole trans two-spirited religion because Native Americans believed the queer she was safe, she was a go-between, she was called the go-between genders because I go between genders as I flow between genders. So I seek shade from the sunburn of your gaze of hot judgment. I will forever commit my voice to silence and my memory to oblivion for your comfort, Karen, just like you sought to commit the memory of my ancestor Marcia before me to the deadly embrace of her sinister father figure, the Roman god armed with a sharp instrument, a colonizer taught her to see in the Hudson River after they dropped acid and made love for the first time in the 70s there on the pier. But in the river, her trans body there was found bloated, her hair and flowers merrily algifying the architecture of her trans body, calcifying a new North Atlantic reef structure. Now aquatic, she is somehow fallen from the humanity of her joyous floral day-to-day meanderings. She has somehow fallen, though her arms had only just been still outstretched towards life, toward one more loving embrace, yet she has somehow fallen from where stood her sometime daddy, that closeted bisexual, that great triangulator of himself and of his lawful white wife and of Marcia P. Johnson, his black trans mistress, and somehow when he saw her arms again outstretched to him and longing under moonlight and not quite starlight on account of the great electrical marvel illuminating her city, at once he knew with all the specific sin his lifetime had accrued. She was his one true love. But at the same time, he knew full as well that if his incriminating desire were drowned, not one of his brother officers would investigate this homicide and not suicide, Your Honor, because with the brother's shame drowned, they believed that drowned with it, the only living witness of their own.
All right, make some noise for Dumpster Fire Phoenix. All right, so. All right, so. Y'all mind if I do a poem real quick?
Yo!
All right, let me see here.
You better do that poem.
Let me see here. I'm gonna do the poem.
Do the one with the word.
That I was just, you know what? You read my mind. That is in my body. I keep it there often. All right. All right. So this poem is dedicated to some very strange people that I know. Some of you may know people like this. If you're next to one, don't say anything. They might catch on to you. Okay. Dang it. Okay. My closest friends are heathens, if not cryptids. I mean, aberrations, anomalies, oddities, true kaiju, Morlocks, situated away in detached, non-conformist flower-top thorn factories that do not have to fucking smile for you. Freaks with razor blade grins, unfettered from your fetishes, unbound and willingly tied to their freedom. Ground-pounding, light-working, earthbound seraphim, sin-soaked saints past and beyond forgiveness, living only to atone, butterflies that glow in the dark because they had to find their way out somehow, things that go bump in the night have tea with, monsters with hearts big enough to hold a space for you, know exactly when you need a hug and know how to ask you first, folks hoping to get their soul back, souls that the devil won't even touch with a 10-foot pole, folks that got nothing but soul left, pronoun resistant, self-identified, beasts too classy to be classified, religiously disillusioned yet so spiritually devout that they carry the church inside them, carry their demons just to give them to God personally, keep crosses on their skin in case they forget God again, people who gonna love you like acid, jazz, and whiskey at 3:12 a.m., cats that will neither be cataloged or easily referenced, low-key masterminds, undeclared geniuses, some of the sapio-sexiest carbon-based life forms that I know, wise enough to not know shit, know not to think themselves better than you, absolute badasses, people who didn't see themselves until they became invisible, people who didn't find themselves until they were truly lost, folks that will love you so hard that your doubts suffocate, beings that don't talk to strangers because nobody is stranger than them, they who outlive the prophecies levied at them only to become more than them who became more than the armchair prophecies levied at them, only to become more than the labels levied when I tell you about my friends, my comrades, my tribe, my collective of individuals. Be advised, we are not the we you are used to. Nothing like what your eyes may tell you. Believe whatever you heard about us. We give the myopic headaches when we come into view. We're not lost because we don't know who we are. We're lost to you because you no longer deserve us, devoid of any explanation. You might think we owe you. My crew be so very motley, but this exquisite mess of outright outliers, this tumultuous tapestry of peoples from separate paths that I choose to move parallel with. We are the flotsam that drifted in from wherever, bound by holding to each other, no matter where the light takes us. And I don't know where the hell they came from. I don't know how they found me, but I would not trade them. Not a one. Clap if you're next to somebody beautiful. All right. All right, folks. like I said, ain't nobody sitting by themselves. You know, even if you got your shadow, you got a reason to make some noise, baby. And don't clap when you next to somebody making a long car ride home. You know what I'm saying? Don't get the I'm fine tomorrow morning just because you was too cool to fucking clap. All right, so I'll need you to go ahead and adjust your trays to the upright position and make sure you got your awesome seatbelts on because it is feature time, y'all. Make some noise for feature time. All right, so this next poet is so amazing. They taught LL Cool J how to write a hit with just an hour and a pen and a pad. And it only took them 5 minutes to do it. This cat coming up was the next one responsible for making cats and dogs in their feud with each other. As of today, they have officially began the healing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I saw like a calico talking to like a husky out there like, you're pretty cool, dog. You know what I'm saying? And the calico was like, you know, and the dog was like, you an all right cat. And it was like, gang. You know what I'm saying? They both said that. I have seen this poet on stages. I have seen this poet do awesome work in the community, be the very letter of a human being. They are cooler than you. There is nothing you can do about that. The suave and the savvy is there. Forgive yourself for trying to catch up. And they are, and they are author of the new book of poetry entitled Freedom House. Please, without any further ado, to celebrate our first night here at the Alamo Draft House Mueller, make some noise for your very own K.B. Brookins!
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is a first for me. I ain't never did poems on a balcony, but we about to make it happen, baby. I really hope I live up to that intro. I love both cats and dogs, so I guess that part of it was true. The rest of it, I'm not sure. But hey, I'm KB. I'm a Black, queer, and trans artist based out of this little city called Austin, I guess. And I'm gonna read to y'all some poems out of my new book, Freedom House. All right, so I'm Black. Where my Black people at? Yes, this is for the niggas, strictly for the niggas. I'm also queer. Where my queer people at? Yes, the leg booty community. I'm here for y'all. I'm also trans. Where my trans people at? Hey, okay, nice. Allies to any of those communities. Make some noise. All right, cool. People who didn't clap, I am side-eye, but I hope I make a reader out of you. So I want to kind of set the tone for this reading. I'm going to read a poem called I'm Not Writing Anything Else Where White People Are to Assume Audience. And before all the white people get up and leave, right? So it's like, I think that when people interact with a Black writer, they just assume, right, that our audience, they assume anybody who's not white, like our audience is also white people, right? But I don't know. I like to have intercommunal conversations. And I also think that whoever is going to get, fed from my work, I want you to get fed. Yeah. But I really want to upend the idea that all of us are writing, to or for or despite, some particular audience. So let's do it. Forget the references. Forget the review panel full of Wonder Bread who've written metaphors for my skin. Forget the handshake. Forget friends who only reference other Wonder Bread friends. Forget feeling bad for never finishing an episode of Friends. Forget the discourse, allyship. Forget wanting the revolution sides to be more diverse. Forget converting the 50-some% of folks who still think they aren't racist. Forget the 50-some% of folks who still think they're anti-racist. Forget the nuance and sparing their feelings with every line and stanza. Forget show, don't tell for people in single file lines for their lynching. Forget their desire, their presence, their hate mistaken as healthy. Forget rage mistaken as hate. Forget defund the police is not realistic. Forget Nancy Pelosi and the police. Forget bombings and shootings and recanting all this shit just so you can feel me less. Forget the stares. Ignorance assumed of the reader. Forget mistakes. Forget writing more like them, to them, with them, in spite of them. Forget white rage. Forget Black pain paraded as prose in a poem. I am writing what Booker T needed all of this time. I am writing for Phyllis, for Sonia, for Audrey, for James. I am writing a poem that I don't need to explain. Let minstrelsy take its rightful step inside the trash can. Let the gaze of white everything step away from my pages and my poems and my power. Let them be a choir of stairs. Reader, I'm writing this poem for me. Thank you. All right, so I wrote this book on the heels of really like the most terrible legislative session. Everybody say boo Greg Abbott. Boo Greg Abbott. All right, if he's your dad or whatever, I don't like him. It just is what it is. Fuck Greg Abbott. And yeah, this poem is about me being trans and existing as a trans person in Texas, which is a really hard thing to do right now, and also existing as a person of color in Texas. I think today they tried to pass a like anti-DEI law, so living through the medieval times, y'all. But one thing I noticed when I started like growing facial hair and getting a deeper voice, it's like men treat me like so much better. I'm like, oh wow, sir, gentleman, great. Because, you know, when you're a Black girl, I don't think you always get treated the best by men, right? And then when you're a Black man, all of a sudden you're kind of in like the posse, like the cool kid kind of area. And you still don't have access to patriarchal masculinity, like you never will because you're a Black man. But still, it's very interesting. I also know nothing about sports. So this is a poem about that. It's called Somehow Men Are Nicer to Me Now. They say, hey, boss. At me in restaurants. They hand me the check, ask me about the game of who versus cares, give me tips on how to talk to women tangential from the bar. I wonder what about me makes them chipper and chatting thinly about interestless shit. Is it my chest? The disappearance of my hourglass figure, the chin hair stubby and manly as livers drowning under kegs of cheap craft beer. They tell me not to drink fruity shit tonight. Like yesterday, when I couldn't get any investment in my breath, so a cop wrestled me to the stiff concrete, didn't happen. Like everything I've lived through isn't etched in the beard they tell me to marinate in oils. It'll grow, bro, they say. Every man treats me like I'm living now. Somehow, when this life is over, I will have lived both sides of the offensive line. Throw me the ball, fam. I'll be sure to run into a teammate and tell them how men are the silliest thing since touchdowns were invented. Thank you. So, all of my male friends, I don't hate you. I just don't understand you sometimes. You know, please, like, be patient with me. I'm learning. So has anyone ever been to the gynecologist? Yeah. Everybody was like, yeah. It's terrible, right? They just put like a crank in your shit. Like, I kind of hate it. But like, also, like, what if, like, I don't know, someone held your hand? Like, it was a bit more of like, I feel like gynecology is like that one thing that still feels very like 1600s. Yeah. You know, I'm like, why has that not? We got phones that can just like read our faces, but you still putting a crank inside of me. Like, what's going on? So I was sexting this one time, right? And it just happened to be at the gynecologist. And, and it's very interesting going to the gynecologist also looking like me, and they're like, you waiting on your wife, right? And I'm like, no. But anyway, sexting at the gynecologist. A camera is what makes it porn, right? I Google, as everyone in the reception area wonders what husband is waiting for his wife. Between my legs is a national treasure, or at least what gives Republicans wet dreams during seasons of political theater? Can I carry that energy into a pose that reads digital exchange of chemistry? The tiny bathroom mirror says yes. My lover opens the text as some other kind of camera enters the canal that never wanted this. The same way Republicans never want their donors to think they care about trans people. If I blurred the silhouette, is it still considered erotica? I think so, said the nurse, answering a separate question about my womb. If cameras create the crime, then I declare my pants untenable by these people unless they're doing routine checkups in a doctor's office. At least here, the lobby thinks I'm offering moral support. And in a way, T in a back rub says everything's okay, just as much as my lover. Eyes spangle when I show her exactly what Greg Abbott hates. Thank you. So, like, is anybody struggling right now? Like, I'm having like a crunch wrap, supremely terrible time. You know, I'm not having a Baja Blast. It just kind of is what it is. And like one day I went to Taco Bell and I just like cried. Could just be like that, right? You just crying and it's like a Crunch Wrap Supreme and you're like, fuck, man. Damn. Shit is fucked up right now. Anyway. I wrote this poem called Spondylolisthesis, or Why I Eat Taco Bell. Shout out to my disabled people. I grab a number 7 when I'm most depressed. Like today, scarfing down a Crunch Wrap Supreme to drown out the dagger and twist in my lower back. Like tomorrow, the Baja Blast overpowering the black boy asking for anger to save them in my throat. My back hurts in a country that wants to disable me. What feels better than hard shell medicine, a lover reads stranger, asking if you need anything else. So I stuff my sadness with hot sauce packets. My gifts come wrapped in hexagons too sexy for my pain. Weary needs saving as much as it needs flavor in a country not cashing in on black suffering. What's your after appointment fix? Mine costs $7.22. Mine is fractures with enough decency to come packed with straws and napkins. What is your healing cost? Thank you. All right.
I say there, KB. What is that item you have there in your hand?
Oh, it's a book.
It's a book.
Right?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
They're everywhere these days.
They are.
That's a one of a kind book though.
Yeah.
How much is that book in your hand?
This book is $18.
Only $18? You can't afford not to, I say. It's a steal, I say.
Exactly.
It's criminal.
You buy this for $18, I break even.
What?
Okay? You want me to cry at night? Don't buy the book. You know, try having that on your conscience. Let's go here. A black trans person, you know, read poems and you didn't buy the book. Bad ally. I'm just gonna guilt trip. I don't care. It just is what it is. Okay. I'm gonna read a poem about Austin. Yeah, let's do that. All right. It's called Cognitive Dissonance. On 11th Street, Saturday, October 15th. On a street with Black art matters coloring the pavement and pillars with faces of Renaissance-era Black artists lift up the highway that tore the city in two. And Black Lives Matter is embroidered in a local shop's window. I see no Black people. Unless it's MLK Day or intentional congregations of underfunded Black events, Black folk retreat to their far away corners, speaking a variation of the country's language that sounds like squeaking styrofoam to those who populate 11th Street. My car glides down a road where a venue, a member of the Chitlin Circuit, still stands only because of national designation, everything around it fresh as a new gun. Down a road where a monument honors through force. Black people in Texas. Down a road where homies learned how to play ball, tie their new Christmas shoes, live big despite the meager bounties put on their heads by this city a century prior. And it's nothing but white people. The internet says in Austin, East 11th is the new SoCo. Homies say, in Austin, our lease is up in February. What is a city if not a slowly rotating thing, baking its blackness at the speed of capital? Every street and every city eager for all the wrong reasons reminds me of my skin. It isn't green enough. Thank you. I hope y'all wasn't expecting me to be like, oh, I love Austin. Austin is so cool. Fuck, I look like. So, all right. I have a series of poems in this book that are called like T-shot number something, and it's me kind of chronicling my medical transition. That's just one part of transitioning. I also talk about the social aspect of like coming out to your family, and also like all of the things that you go through when you start to look differently to different people. Because people act like they don't treat you differently based on what you look like, but they absolutely do. So this is like, I don't know, a series of poems just like processing a lot of that. And also processing like, just because I'm inheriting a type of manhood, I don't also have to inherit like toxic masculinity. And I talk to, you know, other men just about like how we can be better allies, right? To non-men, and also like about like how all of this is socialized, right? And it's not like all the way your fault, because it's like you're socialized to be a man before you're even born. As soon as it's a boy starts, right, you're in socialization. As soon as it's a girl, it's said in that one room where someone is like rubbing gel on your parents' body, like it's so deeply entrenched. But anyway, this is a poem called T-shot number 5. It's an ode to my sharps container that I put all of my needles in every week. Holder of loose blood. Taker of contraptions I use when I'm brave enough to save myself. Visual reminder that I can do it. Former container of pickles, so it smells like sour victory. Glass house of my gender. Chest hair maker. Every interaction at the coffee shop, on the phone with medical providers, every nervous laughter after checking the sex on my ID comes down to you. Ass hair activator. Restitution for a 20-year gap between who I was and could be. Balding beauty. Conjurer of my wildest dreams, ones I've dreamed since I was 13. Activist. Advocate. Apt to be who believes in me. Tallying up all my tea and all my boys who didn't get to be boys. Heaven sent. Heaven's back door. Always roping me up through the vent. Thank you. All right, so I have like one more poem for you. Oh no, the one person, I appreciate it. Everyone else like, wrap it up, bitch. But yeah, I really appreciate it if you come, you know, ask me questions about the book, come by the book. It really means a lot to have like Black trans literature out in the world. The trans narrative is so heavily skewed to white people, and the Black narrative is so heavily skewed to Black abjection, right? I talk about Black joy, I talk about trans joy, and I think we need those narratives right now when we're in just like so much negativity all the time. Like every time I log into social media, I'm just like, damn, something fucked up happened again, right? So if you need another read that's like, I'm talking about real shit, but I'm also using humor because, you know, you gotta laugh if you're not gonna die, right? And also I'm just talking about the people who have made me possible and the trans experience. And if you want to learn more about it, you know, I just suggest this. It's a very bannable book also, unfortunately, because we're living in an age where books get banned, right? So like, I want this to be in circulation. I want people to be able to come across this book and learn something about themselves or other people. Thanks. So this poem is called Freedom House Manifesto, and it's a world that I'd love to build with y'all. leisure for the youth, housing for everyone houseless, fresh fruit in the trees and kitchens of every American, a belly full and living, land back truly in its truest form, reparations for all the land and promise Black America has been stripped of since infancy of the states. No student loan debt, no credit system to keep us drowning, no inequity tolerated, inequity eradicated from every living system. No system but the body, polyam with all parts of the ecosystem. No belly full of legislators telling it what it can and can't do. No unrest, no bloodshed in the name of liberty and justice. No police, no prisons, no barriers needed between people. No ICE, no $20,000 medical bill, no cancer, no breeding of things that don't belong together. No dogs that matter to you more than people. No police. No memories of being handcuffed in front of a crowd, inebriated and confused. No tickets sent to my residence for a red light I ran to get from 9 to 5 to 6 to 9. No police. No prisons. No police. No running my fingers through my hair looking for justice. No world devoid of it. No crying mothers. No breaking news of crying. No other. No, vote them out at the next election. No politicians clocking me more than stopping ERCOT from killing people. No people owned by the state. No Greg Abbott. No police. No Ted Cruz. No police. No Donald Trump. No terror that will not be named because what we've done to each other doesn't have one. It may be eugenics. It may be public degradation. It may be inaccessible stages, the only place where I can say these things and not sit sideways for the next frame. No framing for my own murder and no police. The Freedom House is one we all live in and win. The Freedom House is one we all live in and win. Thank you.
What's up? Oh, the open mic. Oh, hold on, real quick. First and foremost, please give it up for KB Brookins. Everybody, real quick, repeat after me. Respect existence.
Respect existence.
Or expect resistance.
Respect existence.
Respect existence. Or expect resistance.
Respect
Like Amazon Prime, you can get it, baby. Don't fuck around. All right, whose magical water bottle is this up here being magical and shit? I knew it was KB's. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The last time someone touched KB's water bottle, they gained magical powers and started flying around with a blue pajama suit on with an S in the front. I don't know. I thank you. I'm a person of dangerously dangerous danger. Y'all know what I did today? I went to the post office. You know what I did? I walked up to that person and I said, "Give me change of address card." They said, "Where would you like to change your address card to?" I said, "I would change my address to the Edge." The edge. I'm just spitballing. It's not always going to be gold. All right, are we having a good time? Clap if you're next to somebody beautiful, y'all. Don't just say that because we cool. Are we having a good time? All right, in case you don't know where you are, you're exactly where you need to be. If you don't know what's going on up here, then it's your fault. You need to get your ass up here because we need you. Put your hands together for the Austin Poetry Slam here at the Alamo Draft House Bueller. We're just up here showing off, saying hi to the neighbors, letting them know to come on down next week. Starting next Wednesday, we will be at the Barrel of Fun Theater. Everybody say theater. Your credit score just went up 2 points. We're going to be down there next Wednesday is what I'm telling you. So go ahead and meet us down there. But we're just up here in the meantime. Please, our feature was amazing. If you agree even more so and have money that you hate, then you should spend it on a worthy. I'm serious. If you've been walking around, but like, I've got $50 in my pocket and it gets on my fucking nerves. It's like a rash having money. I don't want this rash anymore. KB will help you. KB will help you get rid of that specific rash. Don't. Just don't. We're going to take a little bit of a 5-minute pause for the cause where I'm going to quit rambling. We got the open mic list open over here. Like I said, if you got something to say, come and get it off your chest. We'll put you down in a good way, and we'll be back very shortly. Again, support the poet over here. Support our feature. Support all local art. We got, let me see here. We got books. from our king. We got jewelry from our king. Y'all have money that belongs to our king. That's what I'm just saying. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Support local artists is what I'm saying, damn it. We'll take a break for about 5 minutes and we'll be right back. Yes, feel free to come on through. It's going to be just as crazy every time. This is
I was supposed to watch some fire, which I would have preferred, and now I have to watch one thing I was thinking about. And then I got here and I was like,
I want somebody to walk by and hear us up here and be like, oh shit, y'all doing poetry up there? Yeah, come on, all the way up there. I need it. That'd be I was telling them I want to like be up on stage and have somebody hear us. Come up here and be like, hey, but this is I'm doing poetry. Like, yes, we are. Holy shit, I'm on the way. That would be fantastic.
We're getting nervous.
This one here.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I'm thinking I might just announce that after. Yeah. I think everybody who's seen it, one more. Close out. We were saving the very best for last. You'll be amazing. You will give me the best intro.
I feel like somebody else should go.
No. We were waiting for you. The chosen one. Bob was like, should we close the list? And I was like,
We were waiting. There's one more.
I love your hat, Mom.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so that's what I was getting to earlier, and I apologize.
It's okay. I told her you were confused. She
Yeah.
said she clarified.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
She hasn't been up here.
She hasn't clarified.
Yeah, they signed up online.
But like, if we're like way down, then we'll just like.
Y'all came in. I'm looking at the poets that I have. Because right now, this is where we're at right now. Y'all came in before me. So I'm gonna write y'all down. We'll just bring y'all up after the break.
Okay.
What's
JC Jackson. And let me ask Kamari if she's still. Yeah, she's still doing it. Kamari.
Okay. Let me see. How was it with K?
With this
See, I was K. That was K. That was bringing you two first.
Okay.
Yeah. That was my waiting one. Thank y'all for being here.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank
It's recording.
Yeah, not a problem, not a problem. Did you see how many people came up here? What I tell you? There's gonna be so much local people who heard about it but didn't sign up. This is gonna be yeah. Not only that, but we went out and go with like soon as black women don't have like a way to come up with a table chair. Look, someone will have their name on red. That'll be awesome. Oh, this is good. Yeah. No. Man. I definitely am. My body, when I say I'm old, I'm saying my body has to be ready.
And I'm telling you, we fresh now. We old. Hey, how long will the break be?
I'll probably go to 2 or 3 weeks. Oh, here we go. I was debating it at first towards the end of your feature. I was debating just having everybody look short. On the inside, you want to do that. Just like in the direction that way. You don't want to contact all of these so packets like all that. Right now, right to the bottom of the water, go ahead and hold that one down. About 30 minutes. I got some shit in the church to break out. Boy. All right, come on.
Now we know what that button does. Somebody make some noise in this joint, man. All right, we are officially back from the break after an amazing feature by KB Brookins. Give it up for KB Brookins, y'all. For those of you who haven't purchased their book yet and are looking for a way to absolve yourself of that guilt and that pain, we have the answer ready for you. KB is holding down that corner and got that work. Everybody say, KB got that work. You know what I'm saying? All right, so we're going to go ahead. Let me see here. So this is going to be the last half of the night. So I'm going to need the audience to put a lot of fire because it takes a lot. Give it up for every beautiful being you saw get up on the stage, y'all. But it takes a lot to get in front of people you don't know. So for the rest of the night, I'm going to be a little less of that uncle at the Christmas party. Not that other uncle, but that one cool uncle who's like, oh, and he's having a nap now. That uncle is who I am. But I'm going to speed things up because I want to get every single soul up on this mic as soon as possible. So without any further ado, please put your hands together for J.C. Jackson and Kabari. Give it up for J.C. Jackson!
Good evening. My name is J.C. Jackson. I am the author of the book and the founder
founder of the company Elijah Broke the Gate. We're a company that provides good and apparels for women and families who've experienced child loss. So, trigger warning. There goes your trigger warning on the piece that I'm about to do today. We actually help people who've experienced loss write about their trauma and perform it. So this piece, in honor of Poetry Month, it was one of the first pieces I wrote after I lost my son, Elijah. It's called Time. A miscarriage changes you. You start to appreciate time. You reflect on the times when you were too busy to look at the sky or notice the birds, and you feel ashamed. Time was trying to get your attention with that epic sunset or that rare mockingjay. Time. She tries to run out on you to make you realize how valuable she is, but you don't. Time. You use her and abuse her. You ignore her, then by the time you need her, her patience has run short and she's gone. By the time I needed her, her patience had run short and she was gone. And my baby, he left with her. Thank you. I do have the books here today if you would like to purchase. I also have our necklace, which is called Strong 1 and 4. Necklace is for people who've experienced loss. Anyone can buy it. And it's to remind them that they're strong, even though they've had this horrible situation that's happened. And half the proceeds of everything we do goes towards supporting women and families who've experienced child loss. Thank
The
you.
name is J.C. Jackson. Y'all make some noise. All right. And let me see here. All right. And give it up next. Coming up next to the stage, put your hands together for Kamari.
What's up, y'all? This is called The Last 23 Minutes. 1. I hear your lungs clawing for air in 2, the hallway. You stride towards the bathroom, plunk. 3, on the toilet. The high seat we bought you years ago when 4, you were first hospitalized. I rush in and ask, you okay? You breathing hard. 5, you say, I am. Wheeze, kinda. Wheeze hard. 6, I watch you sit and gasp, then run off to grab phone. Call the list of emergencies. 7, contacts. Aunt says to call an ambulance. Hello? Come quick. 8, you slow drag back to the bed. 3rd, on the bed like dropping the weight of your life. 9, on floral sheets. I bang on my cousin's door. Wake up. He sits with her. 10, I rush to grab an overnight bag because visits to doctors turn to nights now. 11, sirens announce help coming. 4 men spill into the door. I guide them to her room. 12, what is your name? Agnes. Wheeze. Young. Wheeze. Wheeze, what year is it? 13. 839 East 75th Street, Lost. Wheeze, Angeles, that can't be good. Somewhere between 14 EKGs and numbers about blood sugar and medical slang, I'm too worried to 15 comprehend. Can you walk? They lead her to the door. I finished my task to pack a bag, 16, in between underwear, medicines, and nightgowns, a voice vibrating like 17, thunder in me. This is the last time you will see her. I scream no. I run to the front door, 18. I see blood pour like cracked yolk. What is happening? Wipe her mouth. Men gurney her, 19, to the ambulance. In the street she lay, grasping her chest. 20, mouth open like salmon on deck. This isn't enough air. I kiss her. Twice on the cheek, 21, pressing hard with everything in me. It's gonna be okay. 22, men lift her inside. One final breath. Her arm falls to her side. 23, screams, 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 while a black cat stares, then walks on.
Give it up for Kamari one more time, y'all. All right, and keeping the list going, give it up for Colton the Rider.
Let's go, Colt.
Ricky with the ponytail.
That's my white son.
I'm a little big, so I'm gonna be a pioneer and use this chair.
Hey.
Okay, pioneer.
My name is Colton, and I'm getting married tomorrow. Thank you. My piece is called Drag. The library is open because reading is what? Fundamental, developmental, a place to seek knowledge and shelter. Queens usually indicated someone of royalty. Now drag queens have a target on their back with books on fire and libraries under fire. When is my existence going to be safe? There are 70 countries where it is still legal to be gay. People are fleeing their country and their families to avoid getting executed. Hard to grow in a closet. No sunlight, no water. Boy in the cupboard under the stairs. Children trapped in cages at the border. Queers killed in countries all around the world. Everywhere they step is explosive. Lightly dancing, twirling, pivoting, avoiding minefields, battlegrounds, dodging bullets and ropes. Lips in sync with a mask, ever enchanting. Spellcasting, silencing, staring, starstruck, they would love to take away our shine. I should be in a field of green. Mariposas, where the flower petals are painted by fairies. Sorcier, Raya, de Soleil, sun shimmering, my skin sparkling. How can people hate me but look for rainbows after rain? Don't they know that we are color? People admire the thought of me. Flowers plucked, petals torn, roots dug up and shredded, never to feel a place called home again. They didn't know the queens they dragged would be the pillars of the community. They threatened to drag us through the sage bush. Didn't know that sage is a word for wisdom, this plant used in rituals for healing and cleansing, weaponizing nature, forcing us to be complicit, compliant. I might just start a riot. Fuck no, I will not stay discreet or down low. Don't say gay, you mean don't say hate. These things are not synonymous. I thought that was obvious. Your fear does not give you the power to erase me. Queer's been breeding your cows, brewing your beer, even making your guns you use to shoot us. Everyone is scared of AIDS, and all we need is some aid. High praise to the gays in older age, those who were told to pray the gay away, paved a way for those like me. In many countries all across the world, you can report someone for being gay. A cop can probe you, can execute you, violate you, and use violence to erase you. If only they knew that probing would only discover there isn't anything there. No tumor or mass, no disease, nothing you can catch, but my existence is a crime. Outlawed, refugee, I dream of a place where I can sleep without eyes peeking. We are color, unlike black and white, vibrant, stunning, striking, full of life. I want to live in a field of green, where the only red is blush in my cheeks, not fire, where the yellow is sunlight in my eyes, not caution tape at a crime scene, where the blue and violet is from flowers and not bruises. Where the flowers are plentiful and growing together, not in scarcity. I'm tired of being scared to walk out, always looking over my shoulder, heartbeat stopped, no pulse, holes where heart should be. When walking out of the closet at pulse, overkill. So many of my friends dead. I'm really over worrying about being killed. Please just let me be.
Make some noise for Colton, y'all. Sit in that chair. I will write y'all a whole damn blues album. All right, coming up next to the stage, make some noise for Jazz Bell. All right, give them some energy as they come up to the stage. Don't you dare rush perfection. Don't you rush perfection.
Thank you to the chairperson. I will. Who here's gay? I wanted to read like 5 different poems, but I decided on a gay love poem. It's called Love is a Daily Habit. Dax shows up so late to our first date. Dax still wins me over with their holographic fanny pack and 4 hours shit-talking the medical system. Dax knows the difference between purple and purple. Dax is neon green like first spring, pastel pink and blue like the sky down south. Dax has an Animal Crossing village so beautiful, everyone stops in their digital tracks. Dax is holographic soft, bubble and stuffies. Dax droplets water on the snails so they don't dry out. Dax info dumps, and I learn more than I ever learned in grad school. Dax tells me about their favorite show, which they also hate. Dax unravels the mystery of the internet and what in the world my cats are trying to tell me. Dax holds the cats every night. The neighborhood cats trust Dax. Dax puts their arms around me when I do the dishes. Dax is anxious 24/7, and I benefit greatly from this, prepped and ready for any disaster. Dax feels every plane. Oh, where did I go? Okay. Dax hears everything. Dax notices. Dax is my getaway driver on retainer. Dax lets me be honest. Dax didn't forget me in the pandemic, which is still ongoing. Every day I ask Dax if I am real, and they speak memes and scratch my head in response. Dax is patient with my restlessness. Dax teaches me to slow down before I break down. Dax teaches me about my own needs. Dax lets me be alone sometimes. Dax teaches me to rock my body and shake my hands when I can't take it anymore. Dax diagnoses me before the psychiatrist does. Dax has many names and selves. Dax helps me learn the names of my selves. Dax works on all of their selves for me. Dax makes me a spoiled trans, lets me use the contraption that helps them with their T-shots. Dax touches the hair on my face as it grows in. Dax traces my jawline in wonder. Wow. Dax looks so loud, parents hide their children. Dax looks so free, children disobey their parents to sneak a look of a dream re-realized. Dax has every opportunity to choose power and doesn't. Dax takes out the trash. Dax massages the parts of me that hurt. Dax wheels me to bed when I forget sleep. Dax encourages me to take my medicine. Dax is responsible for my increase in vegetable consumption. Dax knows why I want to die, but hopes I live. Lives next to me, just in case I need a reminder. Thank you.
One more time for Jazz Bell, y'all. All right, and keep the energy going. Keep the energy going. Put your hands together for Faith Janae.
Thank you, Jazzo. That was so beautiful. As someone who runs away from love, that was like really touching. All right, I'm gonna keep the gay shit going and just do a gay poem. All right, it's a true story. He asked me, why try guys now? Honestly, my mama raised me on this mantra. She say, men ain't shit. And I, as any obedient child will do, have abided by these rules. Actually, my mother's raised me on 3 key rules to this life. The first one, I just told you, well, it ain't really a rule, more of a mantra or hymn that she hummed throughout every stage of my life, but still, I'm going to call it a rule for no other reason than, as my mother would say, because I said so. When she said, men ain't shit, what I heard was, find you a woman that is. See, shit, as smelly as it may be, will always decompose to become the fertilizer that flowers the gardens planted by the seeds of our love. So if men ain't shit, trust me, you do not want them. Second rule, easy, very clear. She say, Faith, don't get pregnant. Well, I'm not sure if it's that clear because I never clarified if she meant don't get pregnant, period, or don't get pregnant by men that ain't shit. And when she says men, does she mean all men ain't shit or some? I do not know. But I figure when she says don't get pregnant, what she means is bear the fruits of your womb before anyone else has the opportunity to. Do not allow man to come inside of you just so that he can take all of your power away and then claim it as his own. First, give love to this vessel. Instead, give birth to your essence. Allow the strength of your womanhood to conceive life in all that you do and never become consumed by the sex and the dissatisfaction that will overwhelmingly come after it. Third rule, she said, Faith, never allow anyone to disappoint you but you. That rule I may have broken a few times. I still have not found a translation for, but I figure if I am going to allow anyone to disappoint my soul and take my love out of this world, it might as well be a woman, the only one capable of bringing life into it in the first place. See, my mother has been broken by the breakings of all of these rules, has her doctorate in business administrations and her master's in playing games with these little boys who have no reason to question her and all of the reason to obey. I was raised by women who gave all of themselves to men who were good people, but not good partners, and they never received anything in return. Only the one rib men claim to have crafted us out of. So who am I to not want to give back to my community, to not want to sacrifice my body to be swallowed whole by a woman so that she may taste the sweet goodness of what it means to be seen, to be felt, to finally know what it feels like to truly receive your blessings in return? I do not actually tell him any of this. I honestly just wrote this poem to give reason to my lesbian preferences. Instead, when he asked me why try guys now, I simply answer, majority of my women friends who choose to fornicate with the opposite sex tell me they have never experienced an orgasm, and I really like to orgasm. True story. He say, well, I'm gonna show you. And surprisingly, he did. He showed me and reminded me to never question or go against the teachings of a Black woman, especially when she happens to be your mother. Thank you.
Now, you know you dope when you make Doc laugh at the end of your poem, you know? And I don't mean like a chuckle, that ha. Y'all ever heard that noise before? Like if you got a Black woman in the crowd and you make that Black woman go ha at least once in your poem, then you are doing all right with life. You are doing all right with life. Give it up one more time for Faith Janae and keep the applause going. Keep it going for Michael Hector!
This is a new poem.
New shit!
Straight out the ass.
That's a new one.
The first time I smoked weed was in 2005. The Green Priestess and I exchanged ghosts until we both were full. Her kisses, a prelude in a story about thick gray smoke. Hello, Miss Dark and Wade. The purest of products. She exposed my red flags and insecurities that same summer. She lit my fingertips on fire so I could find the light in a cloudy room, and I did. I did. Somewhere between the terpenes and purple rose petals, I had to learn the weight of love. Back then, I inhaled her neck and shoulders first. There was music in the mundane, so our conversations were filled with violins and wind instruments. She forced me to find my breath, forced me to exhale everything I took in. We were the only ones that could empty each other. Her scent, an aphrodisiac, her flower, fodder for the fire, from my car to the living room to the carousel. By 2008, we were only communicating in the nude and palm to palm. By 2009, we were back to rolling each other to kill our boredom, put my baby in a backwoods and held her down in front of 12. We put the best parts of skin-to-skin contact in a grinder and we twisted our wrist until we both felt better. You could say she saved my life. Let me split her home from chin to toe until there was no tobacco left. I took a scalpel to my better half and carved out a different future. Call it the happy side of codependency, where you're trying to find yourself, but you and your partner are close enough to share a bloodstream. There's a ritual to this. The clock strikes 5:30 and these thumbs strike big lighters. The clock strikes 9 o'clock and the ceiling is sliding into the carpet. I hope no one's disappointed in me. She's a Schedule 1 North Star, and I'm just trying to navigate this life. Sometimes she is the only one with the bandwidth to stop the bleeding. I know I should have left her 1,000 times, but most men are made of heavy metal, and her bed is a magnet. If she could find the needle in a haystack, then she could find these tulips in a bouquet. She kisses me until I am pain-free. She drags me to the doorway of nirvana. It's a thin line between this life and the next, and I've never been able to make it through either door without crying. Sometimes we just sit up at night and mourn our favorite memories. It only makes sense that these solar-powered souls would want to sleep under the stars while I am outside, and I am not fine. But I hope to be in a minute. I hope she's ready to fly.
The name is Michael Hatcher. Make some noise, make some noise, make some noise. And keep that energy going for Antoinette.
I'm still trying to recover from walking up those stairs.
Not just me.
No, it's not just me.
So many stairs.
Today is a hard day. Not like a I don't want to exist anymore kind of hard day, but certainly a living is exhausting kind of hard day. I just feel so overwhelmed. And it's not like it's all big things. Some of it's a buildup of little things. And it just amazes me that people do this every day without even having to think about it. How do you do this and not even consider this a choice? I don't know what not having depression feels like, but I have dug myself out of the hole enough to find out what having depression without trying to kill yourself feels like. And it's weird. It doesn't seem like this is what sadness is supposed to feel like. And sometimes, on the really hard days, I remember what the darkest of nights sounded like in my head, but the demons don't tell me to make a plan to carry out my own tragedy anymore. And those days are hard, but not the hardest. I don't know what not having PTSD feels like, let alone 3 separate diagnoses of it. And there's probably more than that, because the flashbacks in my sleep never seem to stop. The nightmares in my sleep never seem to stop. And the flashbacks during the day come without warning. I get episodes that are far worse than any other panic attack I've experienced by other anxiety disorders. And this might as well be dying, because this is not living. I just don't know how to breathe sometimes. And it's probably not normal to flinch at the slightest voice raise, sound, or touch. My excessive worry disorder replays every bad decision I've ever made in my head and kind of makes it feel like my world is falling apart when things keep piling on. Like there's no way I'm capable of doing this anymore. I can't. My social anxiety disorder keeps everyone at arm's length, even when what I need more than anything is for someone to be there for me. All I can worry about is what they'll think about me. Doesn't anyone know how to not obsess over every little thing? Is it okay to not have control? Because it seems like if I don't, everything will unravel. Not every day is like this. On the good days, all these things lay at a steady number 1 or 2, but on some bad days, I climb up to a 3 and a 4. And when I get a 5 and a 5 and a 5 over and over without a break, it feels like it's all a 7, and 7 suddenly feels worse than a single 8 or 9 day. And the multiple number 5 days in a row, those are the hardest days. Deciding to live was the hardest choice I've ever had to make in my life, and a decision I still struggle with being the right choice sometimes. But I keep that promise to myself, hoping that one day I don't change my mind and break it. So I'm trying to fill in the holes, build up some light in the shadows, take more time to do things for myself, because I don't know how to rest or relax without feeling guilty. But I do know I need to occupy my mind with things other than the hard stuff. And if I do lose myself again, I hope it's in the arts. I hope I get consumed with finding peace in hobbies and activism. And when you find me, I'll be fighting my hardest days with singing or poetry or hiking or maybe having a cold drink and talking to a friend. I need more of that. Because today is a hard day. But I don't want that to be my definition of what a regular day feels like.
One more time for Antoinette, y'all. All right, keeping it going, keep that love going, keep that energy going. Put your hands together for Rosie! Shout out to poets taking one more swig before they go.
One more swig.
That's that real poet shit. That's that real poet shit, yo. Gang, gang.
What up, y'all? I'm from Detroit. I'm just on a little road trip. Yeah, and my very new friend Faith, who's an amazing poet apparently, I didn't fucking know that shit, invited me to be here. And truthfully, I'm very, very pleased and honored to be here. So thank you guys, everybody who shared. Yeah. So this poem is kind of risky business. Like specifically, if there are any cops in the audience, please pretend you did not hear this. You did not hear this shit at all. I was not here, actually. So I'm a sex worker, y'all, and I really don't give a fuck about hiding it. I've been in the game for about 8 years, and if somebody want to arrest me, if they want to come for me, you can go ahead and do that. We'll figure it out. Had some close calls. We're gonna figure it out. And I guess like there's a stereotype that like, oh, especially if you're, you do in-person work, oh, you don't love yourself, you must not value yourself, blah, blah, blah. What I found after being in the industry for like 8 years, sorry, this is a whole speech, is that sex workers are actually masters at making our value untouchable to anyone. And we're really masters at like these sort of small, vulnerable, soft ways of like taking care of ourselves, showing up for a community. Yeah, I guess that's what I want to say. So this is a poem, I guess about learning to claim yourself, belonging to yourself after a long time of not knowing how to do that. This is a poem for femmes of all genders who are new to the industry, maybe a little bit scared. It's okay. This is a poem for workers who've been in the industry for a long, like the OGs who really know how to show up for community and show up for themselves. They've learned how to do that. And I guess for context, my work name used to be Eden, which I kind of cringe at a little bit now. I chose it when I was young. I don't like it anymore, and I don't use that name anymore. But that's a little bit of context because this poem is called Guards of Eden, a song for new girls, a psalm in praise of hoes healing hoes. Mine, as in put my money on the table. Mine as in no longer. Mine as in there is no part of us you can touch no matter how desperately you fuck us. Mine as in after a session I have held my own self like a lover dying, and I have cradled plucked wildflowers the same way and wept. I want to write us a poem that is a warm cloth to sore pussies and mint tea for ragged throats, a poem that puts an extra 50 in the stack you're counting, a poem to make him finish halfway through the booking so you can order the DoorDash you're imagining as he does, a poem that is the DoorDash you can barely afford after the booking, a poem that puts a gun in your purse. It's true, baby girl. I used to think I could be stolen. I used to belong to whoever was looking. I used to kneel at the river and wait for myself to return and pretend I could not hear the widows in my heart tisking at me from their lonely porches. Poor dear thing, they'd say. Don't know she ain't coming back. I used to wonder, also trigger warning, sexual assault. I'll let that sit if anybody wants to get the fuck out of here right now. Okay. I used to wonder at the many ways to hold the same thing you call yours. Mine, as in the way that night's silence gripped my heart like she owned it until her knuckles went white as he did what he did, and there was no one to hear me and no use in trying, and I thought that the dark under that moon would be keeping part of me as trophy. Mine, as in the way the gentle morning now holds that same heart like a new egg hatching, holds that heart the way we hold each other. Each day I lift myself from my room to stumble into the kitchen and find the new day at my dining table with this heart cradled in her palm. Hello, she whispers. There you are. She waits for it to crack and wake to the world. Welcome, she sings. Mine, as in many new mornings later, and I like to think I've got all my things accounted for and collected back, and nothing, indeed, has ever been missing. And once again, I step barefoot into the sun's altar of dirt, and I lay that heart as offering, as I do every day, a broken thank you pooled like peach juice cupped in my palms. She raises my chin to face her bright cheek boldly. She says, you are yours. Begin. Mine, as in many new midnights later, and now the dark is a garden I tend for her fruit. Mine is in, of course. Eden is my real name, hun. As real as the burner I bought that I'm using to text you, which once I chose at random off of a shelf of a Boost Mobile. As real and true as the simple fact that everything I have ever chosen has been indeed my choice. Mine, as into you, my night's work. I will remain unknowable, untranslatable as the ancient dark where I was born. I am written in tongues. I am not talking to you. And mine, as in yours, baby girl, I am only talking to us, as in there is a heaven that is only us and only ours, and they can rip up our humble gardens, tear down the homes we raise and our golden sanctuaries, but working girls are the hidden temple builders of the world. We will dig the valley of a God they cannot know and raise our hearts to graze there in its endless secret pastures. Mine, as in I am the God they cannot know, as in I am my own altar, as you are yours, baby girl. Mine, as in hoes forget who is looking, as in we don't care what they see, as in only we can trace the soft embroidery on your spirit that you have stitched with shaking hands, baby girl, as in all small making our whole.
Give it up for Rosie, y'all. One more time. Keep clapping, keep clapping. Keep that energy going for the next part here as well. Give it up for Courtney!
It's a new poem. Filler words. Take up space. Something I never taught myself to do. I want it to be as small as possible, unnoticeable. A ghost in the corner, a shadow in the room. I started talking in ums and justs, maybes and actuallys. I never get to the fucking point. It's a desire, really. A hope that once I make it to the end, you won't even notice I need something. Needs. I'm still learning I have those. That it's okay to have them. Erasing those blank spaces and giving my words room to exist. Giving myself room to exist. That the value that's placed on me is the value I decide, not the interpretation of a misconstrued sentence my brain could compute properly in the matter of seconds allotted before I felt uncomfortable in silence and subsequently judged by another. Worth. Worth is within me. It is me. All consuming, completely deserving, solely on the preface that I am existing. And yet I just want to feel accepted, supported, wanted, and still. I have to find space to just exist without hesitation, without apology, and with desire and authenticity. Desire. I desire to be authentic. But what even is that anymore? We've lost touch, you and I, mind, body, and soul. I want to know you again, to feel you again, to be again. On the brink of finally seeing myself for the first time in years, like a breath of fresh air that I can finally take. I've missed you. Welcome home.
Give it up one more time for Courtney, y'all. All right, and coming up next on the list, make some noise for Jeff Lewis.
So this is definitely a new poem.
New shit.
Because I'm gonna make it up right now. We were talking over there. I got a book signed by KB. That was an amazing reading. And someone said mysticism, and I said, "Ooh." Like, you ever hear those words sometimes where you just go, "Ooh"? That word came to me because I think about that word a lot, about how we're all the same. We're all the same underneath. Whenever someone says I or me, it's the same I. And I have been thinking about my purpose lately. And, you know, as a writer, artist, poet, photographer, singer, dancer, actor, blah, 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 all those things that we do in the arts. I think I'm here to discover and to show and to prove once and for all that we're all I underneath. And that all the beautiful poets who've come up and read tonight that I got to read and listen to and receive, and you're stored, your words are stored and echoing right here as I feel it here. So thank you. I think I'm here to show that everybody, no? See, this is invention. I said over there that I look like the perfect ally. Man. Maybe selfish, maybe self-involved, maybe here to take from culture that isn't his. And I don't know, maybe I'm here to show that people can be trusted. People aren't as bad as we remember, aren't as bad as we imagine. That if we close our eyes and listen and speak, everyone has the same voice. Mysticism, it's a word, again, I like a lot. I think that's all I got. Thanks so much for listening.
Give it up, Jeff, one more time, y'all. All right, are we having a good time, y'all? Don't just say that shit because we cool. Are we having a good time, damn it? All right, then make some noise. I need all of your energy. I need to build it up right now for the last part of the evening. Get your energy up. Build it up, build it up. Build it up, build it up. Make some noise for Quincy!
Hello. Hey. My name is Quincy, and I'm going to be reading a poem about going home and then remembering why you left.
Amen.
This is called Living in Camouflage. In the midst of a crowded store, I saw an old classmate who I always thought would kill me. I never knew how it would go, still I always feared he would. I went 1,000 miles north for college so I would never see boys like him, yet here I am staring down the barrel. I marched quietly through the store, my skin clenched to the metal of my purse, so snug it left kisses on my palms. My back hunched and my head as low as possible. I don't remember looking up. I do remember sweating, a lot. My fear made dark circles around my armpits while my eyes shifted sharply and my legs trembled. He had a baby boy at his side, with a firm grip on his father's finger. The boy's other hand touched things on the shelf that did not belong to him, just like his father did. The infant was dressed in a camouflage onesie, little green cowboy boots, and his head shaved into a mohawk. Anytime I see men like him grooming smaller versions of themselves, I never have to wonder why. As they walked towards me, the father began to part his lips as if to call out that I was no longer living in camouflage. Thank you.
Give it up one more time for the last voice of the night. Give it up for Quincy! All right, so real quick, we want to thank you all. If you don't know where you are, you're exactly where you need to be. If y'all don't know what's going on downstairs, this is exactly where you should have been. You were here at the first night of the Austin Poetry Slam held at Alamo Draft House. Mueller, make some noise! We're just showing out for the neighbors, letting them know where to be next week. And just in case you're inquiring next week, if you had a good time, don't be selfish. Bring back some more friends and everything. And meet us downstairs over at the Barrel of Fun. Special shout out to the Alamo Draft House. And before we close this thing out, I need to bring up the reason that we are all here this evening. The human being without whom this would not have been possible. The person who has single-handedly helmed Austin Poetry Slam and kept it alive, kept it afloat, giving us a place to be and stand, whether or not we came to speak what was on our minds or connect either way from the audience. Please give it up for half person, half amazing, the most powerful person ever, all the amazing. When I say that she is amazing,
get it right, Joe. All amazing.
I say she is so amazing
How amazing is she?
that she taught Serena how to Williams.
Damn. What else?
She taught B how to Beyonce.
Oh! What
Yeah.
else? Give us more, Joe. Joe.
And she gets into weekly freestyle battles with Sonia Sanchez. Make some noise for Tova Jones!
This is my baby mama.
This is my baby mom. One, thank you. Like, we could not have this show here. We wouldn't have been able to move here. The venue director was like, oh yeah, Spider House. So like, y'all have been rocking with us for a very long time. And y'all came out on a balcony for poetry. So give it up for yourselves tonight, right? Yes, this will be our new home, our new residency. We will be downstairs at Barrel of Fun. Next week will be a slam. So please check our social medias for all updates and things. Thank you. Love you all. Good night. See you next week. Bye-bye. We don't have music, so you just gotta get up and walk out.
Last but not least, keep those doors open. Keep those doors open. Somebody open that door. I want to make sure they hear it. Please, last but not least, we could not shut this down without giving a special shout out to the other reason we are here. Our feature, the feature of features, just so they can hear us. Make some noise for J.B. Brookins! And here, and look. You clap all you want to. But nothing says, wow, you did a good job. Like, here's all my money. Give me your book. Have a good night.
If you weren't able to get the $18 because in this economy, I get that. So I'll have a bucket right here. I'll put it on this table. Please donate what you can. Anything will help. Thank you. Good night, everyone. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much. Y'all have a good night. We will see y'all next Wednesday. Bye.